We often hear the term probiotics all the time. People are either taking supplements or we are talking about natural probiotics. What are these? Hi, I'm Dr. Rashmi Kulkarni, co-founder of Next Solutions. When we talk about probiotics, we are talking about either supplements that have live germs or foods that are fermented. So what does it actually mean when we say probiotics? So probiotics means that we have something that is alive in these supplements or foods that we eat. So these are the live germs, when ingested in sufficient amounts, actually make a huge difference to our overall health. So we are not just talking about physical health, but mental health, emotional well-being as well. Because we have already seen what these germs can do when they reside in our gut, how they help with our physical health, how they prevent a lot of chronic diseases, how they make these wonderful neurotransmitters which helps us with emotional and mental health. But when we talk about which probiotics to take, how do we even decide which ones are better? So let's look at the supplements. When we talk about the probiotic supplements that are commercially available, they either have a single strain of any bacteria or multiple strains that are already known scientifically to show a beneficial effect. So we can either take these probiotic supplements and these will go into our gut in a controlled manner. They will have whatever effect that they need to have, and that's the end of it. But what about the natural foods? What happens with artificial probiotics or pills is that we are putting them in an environment that is still the same. The environment has not changed at all. So while these probiotics that are commercially available, the supplements might benefit in a short period of time, they are not going to be beneficial in the long run. If instead we focus on natural foods like fermented foods, that can really help change the environment, because that is the food that we eat. Now let us see what exactly I mean by fermented foods and how they contain live germs. So if we take an example of fermentation of vegetables or fruits, we know that we eat a lot of pickles. Many people consume fresh pickles. I'm not talking about the vinegar ones, but the ones that are made either in brine or in some kind of a mild sugary solution. So what happens there is the bacteria or the germs that are present on the same foods are the ones that are fermenting these foods or digesting these foods. They are the best ones who know how to digest these foods. So after the fermentation process, when we consume these foods that are pre-digested by the germs that know the best how to digest them, we are putting those foods and the germs in our gut. So the next time when these germs encounter those foods again, they know how to digest it. They are already present in our gut. So for example, the one that I mentioned, when we eat pickles, when we eat pickled fruits or vegetables, we also have those live germs going in our gut because they are the ones that fermented them. When we eat the same fruits or vegetables like carrots or beetroot, for example, the germs are already there who know how to digest them. When we eat a wide variety of such fermented foods including fruits, vegetables, different kinds of grains, cereals, we know that there are many millet dishes that are fermented after cooking. When we consume a diversity of these fermented foods, what that does is it improves the diversity of the gut microbiome, because now we have many different kinds of live germs in the gut and they already know how to digest the foods that we are going to eat. They are the ones that came from the same foods that were fermented before. So eating these fermented foods is actually the best way of getting a good dose of probiotics. Eating different kinds of fermented foods in our daily diet gives us that variety of live germs, the numbers of live germs that are sufficient to not just help us digest all of the food that we eat, but also to change the environment slowly, because they are making all of these metabolites that keep us happy, healthy, keep the gut lining intact, keep our mood in a very good shape. So what do I mean by fermented foods? These are the foods that are fermented and not cooked after the process. So when we cook foods after the fermentation process, it actually kills germs. So those are not the true biotics we are talking about. What we are talking about here is foods that are fermented and then consumed along with these live germs. They can be cooked before the process of fermentation, but they should not be cooked after fermentation itself. That is the best way of getting those live germs that we all want for good health. So why don't we start today? If you found this information useful, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and do share it with people who might need it. See you in the next one.